In this episode of BEA Conversations, we speak to Anthea Tan of Marina Bay Sands, Singapore. Today, we're sitting right in the heart on stage at the Hybrid Broadcast Studio, brand new product of Marina Bay Sands. Anthea, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Now, a few members of the BEA community voted for you to speak on women supporting women. So tell us, what does that mean to you?
Well, firstly, I must say that I feel very honored to have my fellow women peer to vote for me to be talking about my experience. And women supporting women, I think, is a very important journey that we all in our career needs, especially women to women, because we empathize and we know what fellow women peers goes through in terms of some obstacles in career advancement. So for women to provide that type of support for a fellow women peer, it is definitely important and it has to be taken seriously at all times. Yeah.
So why do you think mentorship is important in development, and what are some of the, benefits after you have been mentored by other women?
I feel mentorship is a way, I wouldn't say shortcut, but it's a way that it helps a younger women when they are facing crossroads in their career paths or even personal lives when they have certain struggles. Mentorship, a good mentor is there to always give them a different take, present both sides of the coins, give the type of guidance and advice. And of course, it has to be taken positively or by the person, the mentees. So this type of two-way relationship is huge because we support each other and it comes emotionally. And how personally I have benefited being mentored by a woman is, if I may code name, Dilly Seong, who is an ex-boss of mine. She has been a huge mentor to me in terms of my success now in the career that I'm in. I seek her advice, what I should be doing, what role I should be expanding into in order to be growing in the mines industry. And she told me that, Anthea, you have been doing project and operation all these years, you should do sales. And then that is when she presented why, and I took on a sales role in my previous job, and then after that I landed myself the opportunity of a sales job in Marina Bay Sands and where I am now. Yeah.
So when I mention the word mentor, more often than not the word nurturing comes along with it. So how do you balance the line between being nurturing and discipline?
Okay. I never think mentorship is disciplining somebody. My definition for a mentorship is the person must feel absolutely comfortable with me and have trust and faith to take on whatever advice that I presented to her, and trust that those advice are good ones. There's no personal agenda on my side. It's only for the well-being of her. So I use that nurturing and friendship kind of approach when I talk to my mentees. They must feel that I have their interests at heart at all times, and things that I shared and experience that I shared with them are for their own good. And in that way, I nurture them in terms of getting them stronger, getting them to probably choose the right path, which they probably are uncertain. So so this is my approach when I come to mentorship.
And is the choice ultimately theirs?
It is. I always end off the whole conversation that I have with them is, ultimately, this is your decision. Yeah, but I'm only here to tell you, be a devil's advocate at times, which is very important because sometimes no one is there to tell them the things that they don't want to hear. So a mentor has to be totally honest and truthful. Yeah, so ultimately it is their decision to take, it is their life. But we are able to come in to provide that type of support and advice from the personal experience that we personally been through in our career in the MICE industry.
Our industry always talk about we need more women in leadership. You know, what do you think about how can women create environment that really promotes empowerment and women in leadership?
I feel that women must not be afraid to speak up. Sadly, from my observation, there have been always cases where women are a little bit afraid to put their opinion on the table. They tend to follow instructions rather than lead. Yeah, so a lot of things is, I hope women can have a change of their mindset. For a start, they have to change their mindset to believe in themselves, that they are able to contribute to a problem solving, to any situation, and gain that type of confidence. Yeah, that they are able to put something on the plate. So that mindset is very important for a woman to grow in our industry and not be afraid to speak up. That is the very fundamental step that women has to change.
That is good advice, speaking out, but also be solutions driven.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, we have a lot of talent in Singapore. So what advice would you give the next generation of young women who are considering joining our industry in the future?
3 alphabets. B, B-I-G. We have to believe in ourselves. Yeah, women have to believe that they are able to contribute. They have chosen the right industry to stay through in, be focused. Yeah, and being involved. They must be very involved in every sense. I feel that sometimes someone can be in their job in organizing or event management company, but they fail to involve the greater community of the whole MICE community, the network. So they just doing whatever they are doing. That's not good enough. They are lacking the exposure, they are lacking the network, so they have to be involved in the whole industry, the industry as a whole, as a bigger community, rather than just sitting at their desk doing whatever they are doing. And the last one, give back. At a certain stage of your career advancement, like for myself, after being in the industry almost 20 years, it's time that we give back to make sure there's sustainability in our industry for talent pool. And this giving back can be a form of like, I volunteer to mentor the youth. It can be a contribution that I feel that I want to get involved with association to drive certain initiatives, certain industry task force and all that. So giving back is also important to make this whole career complete. It's not just doing your day-to-day job. It is a lot more.
I absolutely love that. Thank you so much. And when our community mentioned your name, I just went, yeah, because we've known each other for a while. And over the years, the one thing that really stands out whenever I talk to you or even work together with you is your commitment. And the fact that you are here today, only moments before having the second child, that is commitment itself. So thank you. On behalf of our industry, Anthea, thank you for doing what you do. And we look forward to more young talent in women over the next few years.
Definitely. Thank you for this opportunity. And yeah, I will not stop talking to the young women if they feel that they can trust me to give them the advice. That's what I feel very personally passionate about. So I thank you for the opportunity to speak about this topic and whoever that voted for me to speak.